Entends-tu le vol noir des corbeaux sur nos plaines?
Hi, everybody. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. It's a real honor for me, on behalf of Yavneh Academy, on behalf of Mr. Adam Fried, the President of the Board of Directors, Mr. Joel Kirshner, our Executive Director, and the entire school administration, to welcome you tonight to our annual Holocaust dramatic presentation. And tonight, of course, presented by your children, your grandchildren, your family members, our graduating class of 2019. I want to share with you this morning, your children, our students, they performed their production to a full audience of students from here in Paramus, from Solomon Schechter, from Yeshiva Noam, and of course from our own school. And every year when we get to this time of the year and we start to think about our kids as they come close to graduation, there's a certain way that a grade comes together. There's a way that a grade is built. There's a way that a grade learns to support one another, to care for one another, and to encourage one another. And to watch your children, our students, the way they displayed togetherness, achdut, was really so heartwarming. I think they themselves had a surge of pride. It's funny, they're always backstage, and thankfully they're quiet. They don't have the chance to sit in the audience to watch the whole play beginning to end. But they heard from all of the people who came today, and they heard from people in the streets. They heard from some of the parents who were here this morning. And they were like, we were really good. We were really good. And they were really incredible. And many of you know that for our school, this really is our signature event. More so than graduation, everyone in the grade plays a role, from writing the script, designing the scenery, helping with the props, the stagehand, the makeup, and of course, acting. And it's really a very unique program, one I don't think that goes on in other schools. And then when you think about it, as it pertains to Holocaust education, it's even that more poignant. People wonder today about Holocaust education in the 21st century. I don't need to tell you what the last several months have been like for the Jewish community, for the world at large, from the terrible, awful shooting in Pittsburgh in the Tree of Life Synagogue to the shooting in Poway, California on the last day of Pesach, of course the heroism of Lori Kay. And what we're seeing now in anti-Semitism, both here in America and abroad, is rather terrifying. When I spoke to our crowd this morning, I also referenced the Easter massacre, 300 people who lost their lives, innocent people in Sri Lanka, and the 2 mosques that were attacked in New Zealand. For us, of course, as a Jewish school, we look at this primarily through the lens of anti-Semitism. But for the world, it really does speak to the acts of terror and people who want to practice their faith in peace, in tranquility, and in harmony. But I think in our school, it's more than that. It's not a scary topic. In fact, if you ask your students or your children, for many of them, it's perhaps their most favorite and inspiring class. So why is that? How can that be? I think in our school, it's a safe haven for which, or from which, our children learn to grow their emunah and bitachon. They learn about how a Jew responds to tragedy and what it means to develop the wherewithal and the capacity to move forward and to build a better world. I give the credit for that, of course, to their wonderful teacher and our producer, Rabbi Shmuel Burstein. You'll hear more about that a little bit later. A few thank yous are in order. From the Yavneh perspective, and again, we'll have a chance to more thoroughly thank them at the end, to Dominique, to Rabbi Burstein. Each year, it seems, presents its own challenges, and each year, somehow, you make this happen, you rise to the occasion. Literally, this could not happen without the 2 of you. This year, there were several unique logistical challenges. So to Joel, especially to you, to Barbara, Mrs. Rubin, the way that you came together to make this happen, I hope our students have even one small percent of an appreciation of what it is you do for them. To Paramus, to our host, to Bridget Delio, to Robert Ferrero, to the wonderful principal here, Mr. Keem, and to the visionary superintendent, Dr. Michelle Robinson. She addressed us this morning, and the two of them have been great friends of Yavneh and to Yavneh, and we're so grateful they open up their auditorium to us this year and every year, and we say thank you. There's a last note that I want to share with you tonight, more of a personal note, one that really resonates with my own family. My maternal grandfather, Mr. Alexander Karpov, was a forger at the end of World War II. Growing up, I really did not understand, I didn't have an appreciation of what that meant. Frankly, I don't think I do today, but having the chance to read this story and watch the play, it gave me an insight of what it is that he did and what he sacrificed his life for. He saved hundreds of Jews and was caught by the Russians at the very end of the war, and he was murdered at that time. My mother, who's here to join us tonight, tells me she never met him. I carry his name as my middle name, and our family is very proud of his legacy and what he did to risk his life, literally, and to give his life to save who knows how many Jews. Other people have told us they knew of him and that his work as a forger and as a smuggler to help Jews escape was rather well known. So in that regard, it does resonate for me and for my own family. I do thank you for joining us tonight. I know that you'll take great pride in your children as we as a school do in them. We are so exceptionally proud of them, and we wish you congratulations on what I know tonight will be another extraordinary performance. At this point in time, I ask that you kindly give your attention. We're going to begin now with the candle lighting ceremony, and our students will come forward to begin the program. Thank you so much.
For more than 30 years, Yavneh Academy has begun its evening production with the ceremony honoring the memory of the 6 million Kadoshim. 6 candles are lit by surviving family members and friends of each year's graduating class. As the number of living Holocaust survivors have fallen dramatically, we appreciate even more those special Jews who can, thank God, join us for the ceremony.
Mr. Philip Bardash, grandfather of our classmate Zvi Schreiber. Mr. Bardash was born in Danzig in 1937. By 1941, he was living in Krakow, Poland, with his parents, grandmother, and aunts and uncles. A former German classmate met with Philip and warned him to leave Krakow and Poland generally as soon as he possibly could. The family was crossing the border into Russia in the back of a truck when Russian fighters opened fire on them. Some families were injured, others were killed, and the family was suddenly separated. Philip's father was returned to Poland while he and his mother fled as deep as possible into Russian territory, reaching Siberia. After the war, he and his surviving family were in a DP camp for 5 years and entered the United States on April 4, 1950. Philip and his wife currently live in Parsippany, New Jersey, and have a large and blessed family.
Mr. Norbert Strauss, husband of Dorothy Strauss. Mrs. Strauss is the mother of our head of school, Rabbi Jonathan Knapp. Mr. Strauss is from Bad Homburg, Germany. As a young lad living in Frankfurt, he was witness to Kristallnacht in November of 1938. His father left Germany in May of 1939 on the ill-fated St. Louis, only to return to Holland, and later, through good fortune, he obtained a visa to America. Mr. Strauss's mother was to bribe a Gestapo officer who obtained tickets for her and her 2 sons to fly out of Munich in 1941 and emigrate to the U.S. via a ship from Lisbon. His self-published book, My Stories, details his family and personal history. Currently, Mr. Strauss writes a column for the Jewish Link on his personal history and speaks widely on the Holocaust. He spoke with our 8th grade this year in commemoration of Kristallnacht. He has been blessed with 26 great-grandchildren, including Alexa Strauss, a kindergarten student at Yavneh Academy.
At this point in time, it's my honor to call Donnie Baitner, the father of our graduate Benny Baitner, to please come forward and to lead us in the Kel Malay. And I thank Donnie for pitch hitting at the last minute for Rabbi Burstein. And I ask everyone to please rise as we say the Kel Malay.
El Malay Rachamim Shochem Bamromim Hamtzei Menucha Nechona Al Kanfei Ashchina B'ma'alot Kedoshim Uteorim Kezoar Harakiam Azirim Et Nishmot HaKedoshim Ve'atorim Shehumtu Vishenergo Veshenishchato Veshenisrifo Veshenitbeo Veshenechniko Al Kiddush Hashem Bavor She'akahal HaKadosh Hazeh Mitpalalim Miyad Askarat Nishmotehem Began Tehei Menuchatam Lachein Baal Harachamim Yastirei Beseter Knafav Leolamim Veitzror Mitzor HaChagim Et Nishmotehem Adonai Hu Nachalatam V'yanuchu v'shalom al mishkavotehem V'nomar Amen.
Good evening. Paris, a city that conjures up joyous walks, beauty, impressive character, and dignity. Yet during the period of the Holocaust, Paris was terrifying, ugly, tear-laden, and disgraceful for the Jews who called the city home. As German and French police rounded up tens of thousands of Jews in the summer of 1942, not one protest or organized plan of rescue was mounted in Paris on behalf of the city's hapless Jews. The city of light turned to one of darkness. Each week, hundreds and thousands of Jews were subjected to loud banging on their doors, angry shouts to quickly pack their bags for a horrible journey to the unknown. Amidst this horrible atmosphere, German Nazi officers appointed French Jewish leaders to draw up lists of Jews and where they lived. These Jews were then sent away against their will, ostensibly for intended forced labor.
Not one of these Jewish representatives had any idea that nearly all the Jews were being sent away from Drancy transit camp to be murdered immediately upon arrival in Poland. Each time the threshold of 1,000 Jews was reached in Drancy, Jews in cattle cars were loaded off to Poland, to Sobibor, and to Auschwitz death camps, not to be heard from again. After months of deportations passed and not hearing back from the deported Jews, some of the leading Jews in France became anxious. The Kaminskis were one such family. They had returned to France before the war, after years abroad in Argentina. Adolfo, his sister, and brothers were born in Buenos Aires. Their South American citizenship was, for a time, worth more than its weight in gold. Like tens of thousands of Jews, 17-year-old Adolfo Kaminsky was soon sent in 1942 to Drancy with his family. His father, Solomon, sent a letter of protest that reached Argentine diplomatic ears in Paris. We are Argentines and ought to be protected by our South American government.
Remarkably, responsible and compassionate embassy representative sent a life-saving order to have the Kaminskis, protected Argentine citizens, set free. Meanwhile, after the mystery of where the Jews were being sent haunted some of France's Jewish leaders, they quietly opened up a secret section within the organized community that was set up by the SS. This special and secret section of French Jewish community was called the Sixth Section.
Gutsy young Jews quietly joined together to work in the underground. They warned French Jews immediately before their deportation to find hiding and avoid being captured at all cost. Once back in Paris, Adolfo Kaminsky was recruited to join this resistance group. Adolfo had extraordinary and exquisite expertise in dyes, erasures, and forging. This was put to work to produce life-saving documents that certified the bearers were not of Jewish background or faith. Adolfo's work was brilliant, deceptive, and fraught with peril each and every day. Thousands of Jewish lives were saved through his work. Throughout France, angry German and French Nazi messengers are furiously searching for the forger. They would never, could never, imagine that this gifted forger was a youth, not even 18 years of age. Ladies and gentlemen, the Yavneh Academy graduating class of 2019 proudly welcomes you to A Forger's Life.
Adolfo, Briganti, and Dora. Is everything all right? Nothing has happened, has it?
Mrs. Kaminsky, we just finished publishing our first school newspaper, and we've sold it some. We get Tubbo for fun to buy new and more efficient equipment.
Very exciting indeed.
It's a whole education itself. The ink and the typeset and typography. The means of printing drawings in the right quantity and engraving. What sort of paper is best? And then the articles. We need to get to work deciding next edition. What will we write about?
Adolfo, you're so serious. Lighten up. We have a dream job and we should celebrate over our first printing and sale.
Briganti, you're such an imp. We've got to know what we're writing about and what the images will be alongside the article in order to decide the lay of the paper. We've got to get to work. Pauline, what would you want to read about in a school newspaper?
Perhaps how our lives have changed?
You better be careful about what you write, how our lives have changed. The walls have eyes and ears.
There's no need for us to worry. Let's go plan our next edition.
Dora, how's your father?
He's eating and seems to have a little more energy.
That's so good to hear. Please send him our good wishes.
Thank you, Mrs. Kaminsky. It should brighten his day.
You lazy, ungrateful, useless pain in the butt nephew!
Oh no, everyone clear the room! What's going on?
You want to miss this show.
Ow. You think I'm cruel? A rebuke from me isn't nearly as bad as from some Nazi standing over you. You think I'm such a tyrant? I'm your boss. At home, I'm your uncle. And at work, I'm your boss. You do as I tell you, but you refuse to.
You're a tyrant. You ruined me in the behind. You abuse me in front of customers daily. Sometimes you treat the poor in the street with more dignity. I give my hours doing your business.
Paul! Paul, don't speak to your uncle like that.
Oh, so now he's my uncle? Well, you tell him I'm his nephew, and not just speak to me like he does.
You are lazy, Paul. Anna, please tell your son I'm running a business. I must keep a roof over our heads. keep a roof over our heads. Tell him, Anna, he's got to do what I ask of him.
Honestly, Paul, we should be thanking Uncle Leon for taking us in. Where would we be without him? Why can't you behave and just do the work?
I don't care. I can't take another day of the abuse.
For goodness sake, our uncle is protecting us. All of us. Now apologize, Paul.
I will do no such thing.
I'm going back to work. To earn a living.
Oh,
Enough! We moved from Argentina to Paris, and now we're here in Normandy because we have no choice. I will not have this family torn apart by bad tempers and constant arguing. Dora and Briganti, I'm sorry, but I think it's best that you go home now. I need to speak with Paul and Adolfo.
Certainly, Mrs. Kaminsky.
See you tomorrow, Adolfo.
I refuse to work for Uncle Leon. Ever again.
All right. But you must go out and find a job. We all need to work. Paul, I know that Leon has a difficult personality. He can be extremely irritable, and yes, sometimes even tyrannical. But he is devoted to us, and you must, when he comes down, you must apologize to him.
Fine. I'm going out to find a job.
Did I miss the fireworks? Who did you ever? Uncle Leon getting Paul right in the rear. Again?
All right, enough of that. What happened?
Paul quit. He refuses to work for Leon.
He could try a job at the Dyers, where I am.
He's out looking now.
I'll go catch up with him and see if I can help.
I'll come with you.
Thank you, Angel.
We've got a problem now.
Well, you and Mom can sort it out. I've got work to do.
Adolfo.
Yes?
Please, sit down.
I didn't do anything.
No one said that you did, but we do have a problem. Uncle Leon needs help selling his hosiery.
Adolfo, you will work for your uncle.
Me? No, I can't. I'm at school. You said my education is important in the newspaper. I've worked so hard. Me, Dora, and Briganti. We just published our first school newspaper, Papa. This is what I want to do. I want to learn more about printing, ink and typography, and how to create images, and how to write articles for our paper that everyone will read. Please.
We have Paul work for Leon to thank him for his generosity. Leon needs help at the markets, and we need him to buy food and have a roof over our heads.
But my education.
Adolfo, you already have your certification.
But I want to learn more about printing and chemicals.
Our well-being is far more important. We depend on the kindness of your uncle, and you will work for him.
You're more docile, better suited, easier to get along with than your brother.
But I'm allergic to commerce.
Adolfo, this is serious.
I am serious.
Adolfo, do you see these clothes I brought home? Do you see that jacket your mother is sewing? This isn't my jacket, your sister's jacket, or either of your brothers. This is someone else's jacket. These are other people's clothes that I must deliver on time. We are all working, Adolfo, to stay alive, and now you will do the same.
Adolfo?
Yes, Mama, Papa.
Do as your uncle tells you and all will go well.
All right. But I won't be in the rear.
Never in my life, my father's lifetime, or my grandfather's lifetime have I had to deal with this kind of highway robberies. I could buy your whole stock of hosiery for 20 francs, and you, boy, expect me to pay that much for one pair of stockings?
Excuse me, but I was here first. So, young man,
Excuse me, you are not before me.
Ladies, if I might help you both at the same time.
You can barely help me.
My, you are rude. Young man, I was here first. I don't know if you've ever heard of the saying, first come, first serve, or beauty before age?
That's age before beauty.
You're certainly older.
How dare you?
Dear boy, please attend to me and not to her. As you can see, this woman needs to learn how to wait for her turn.
All right, look.
I shall report you to Leon.
No, I'm at your assistance.
That's better.
Well, I never! Young man, you're letting this woman bully you into serving her first, and I shall never, I repeat, I shall never come back.
Mrs. Oh dear.
My name is Adele. I come to the market every week. You should know your customers.
Adele, if you might come over this way.
What?
How about 18?
That's hardly a deal.
How about 16?
These are hard times. I've got to keep food on the table. How about 12?
Please, if you keep your voice down.
What do I care if that Robert Leon hears me?
He's trying to run a business.
Business or no business, 12 it is.
Fine.
What's going on over here?
I'm trying to reach a fair price, and I can tell you it's not 20 francs.
Well, how much did the boy offer you?
20 francs. What? No, 12 francs, and that is my offer.
What were you thinking? Do you even think 12 francs?
Ow, Uncle Leon!
Sounds right to me.
Dell, 19 francs, and that is final.
You take advantage of your customers who are all in need, Leon. Here's your lousy 19 francs. I'll never come back.
That's what you said last time.
I mean it this time.
Young man, how much might these socks cost?
Well, sir, they're hand-knitted, knee-high, so a little expensive.
Give me a price.
I believe that pair hand-knitted with,
Just the price would be around 15 francs.
15 francs, you say? I've only got 12. Will that do?
Might I redirect you, sir?
Me?
Yes, how do you do? I'm Mayor.
Marcel. And what exactly do you want?
Oh, simply to inform you that there's another stall. Selling hosiery, 10 francs for socks.
Oh, but the quality's inferior. Those socks won't last.
I've had my socks for 3 years, not one hole I might add.
All right then, 10 or I leave.
Let me assure you that the quality of these socks are far better. They last 10 years.
10? Ha!
I'm terrible at this job and truly wish I had another.
You should try over at the airplane factory, General Electric. Now, I gave you a tip. Give me the socks for 12.
12 it is.
12 you say? That's a bargain.
Yes, it is. For you both. 12 and quickly buy them and be on your way.
Let me have a look at the socks just to feel the quality.
What is it you're looking for, gentlemen?
A good pair of long-lasting socks. At a good price, and I've got them. Thank you. Just carry on with your work over with your other customers.
So what is the deal you have? You better listen up, Adolfo. Learn how to inform your customers and get the right price.
Stop kicking me!
These socks on refit, foot measurements 10, 10 and a half, or 11. There are 4 designs, rib wide, 2 stocking stitch with different heels, one thicker than the other. You can buy 3-ply or 4-ply.
The thicker one, and I already have the price.
25 francs.
What? The boy here said 15.
15? 15?
I didn't agree to anything.
You're not to be trusted, Adolfo. Just 1 minute. What is wrong with you? You're worse than your brother Paul. Can't you do as you're told?
You are impossible.
Me?
No.
I'll be with you in 1 minute. Now look, I can't be teaching you and keeping an eye on you and losing customers. I've had it, Adolfo. You're going to lose me money.
I've had it too. I'm not taking another minute of your abuse. Paul was right. I'm here for the job.
How old are you?
I'm 16, sir.
Steele, what's so funny? Oh, life for trans life. She finds everything funny. Well, young boy, what experience do you have assembling airplane parts or working in a factory of any sort for that matter?
My name is Adolfo Kaminsky. I'm really smart, I have my certificate, and I've graduated school successfully. I work hard, and I learn fast, and I need a job.
You'll have to start out as an apprentice in the wiring section with the women.
I'm hired?
Yes, Cecile, introduce this Adolfo here while you're on break, and then start training him. No slacking off, being late, or making mistakes. You understand, Adolfo?
Yes, sir.
You aren't 16, are you?
Sure I am.
Come meet some real men, and once break ends, we'll show you the ropes in the wiring section.
Well, what are we here?
This is Adolfo, not a man yet by any means, so he's working in the wiring section. Lucky me.
Lucky Adolfo.
Don't mind us. I'm Jean-Bert, and this is Jacques.
We're not as off-putting as we may all seem. We just like to have a little fun, seeing as how the world around us isn't offering much else but glue.
Once you get the job done in the wiring section, you could come work with us. You from around here?
My mother is from Russia, but ended up in Argentina in the middle of the First World War when my father met my mother in Paris. So, from Russia to Paris to Argentina, and now I'm here with my uncle.
So your parents have been on the move. Your mother is from Russia?
Yes, but she fled the pogroms. She met my father in Paris. I don't know why my father came to France. He's never said.
No doubt it was political.
He was a journalist for the Boon.
That explains it, and it explains why they fled to Argentina.
Forced into exile because he was a Marxist sympathizer. France ordered the expulsion for all nationals considered to be Reds.
They had your father on a list. Where were you born?
Buenos Aires. My brothers, too. We feel welcomed here.
That remains to be seen. The Germans are a force to be reckoned with.
I'll tell you, it won't be long before France declares war against Germany.
What are you trying to do? Scare us all?
The War of 1870. Lessons to be learned. Spain puts a Prussian on the throne. France is furious. We go to war. but we can't win the war, and the Germans crushed us. But in their crushing us, they unified us. Even as we were losing, the Commune started.
Vive la France! The great uprising of noble Parisians.
20,000 members of the Commune died, but their brave actions have helped to shape France.
At the outbreak of the war, I saw hundreds of refugees transporting all their possessions as they fled the Germans. They came from the north of France and Belgium. We even put some of the refugees up, but then they left. Where did they go? Should we be going?
Adolfo, we will never let the Germans take this country.
That's it for the history lesson, Adolfo. Come with me to the wiring section.
They'll be working with us soon.
Le vol noir des corbeaux sur nos plaines.
It sounded as if the earth were about to crack wide open. The ground beneath me was rumbling, and when I saw the tanks, I was frozen.
It's a good thing you sat to and took off.
This is German aviation now. But don't worry, Adolfo. You and Paul are Argentines, and you've got us. I'll be sure to watch over you like a brother would.
Not to worry, he says. The war has arrived in Beer.
Cecile's right, and we'll be under the boot of the Germans soon.
The tanks look brand new, like they just come off a production line. And the soldiers, boots all gleaming, tailored uniforms.
The French draftees' uniforms don't match. Some don't even have helmets. Our father said this time, it's certain, we've had it. We're not going to win the war with an army like that.
The war has arrived in Beer.
Let's keep our noses to the grindstone and not call too much attention to ourselves. And that means you, John Baylor.
Back at it. Back to work, my comrades.
For the Germans, no less.
You are no longer permitted to work in our factories!
That means you two unit out, now!
We are Argentines!
You're union, aren't you? Come with me, now!
Hey, you can't do that. These two boys are Argentines. Well, you can't just take them.
What John means to say is these two boys are Argentine, and they're protected. They should be working here with us.
London calling, radio, Paris is lying.
What do you think you're doing, filth? The ban I applied union was mandated by your government, not mine!
Down with Marshal Philippine! Paris is lying!
Shut up if you know what's good for you! Jean Mayer, Joyce, you're told you'll have us all killed! Do what the woman here says! You'd be wise to listen to her!
You can't take them!
Saved up all my wages working for Mr. Bismarck. And I tell you, it was not easy. I know a thing or two about fabrics and colors and inks and dyes. Now I've got the money to buy the last piece of my chemistry set.
Well, you've earned it. You've been diligent about payments and very patient about buying bit by bit of your chemistry set.
Can't wait to experiment. I've become quite good at dyeing fabrics, you know.
I've never met anyone your age so completely enthralled by chemistry.
I've printed my own school newspaper, layouts and everything. The magic of dyeing. Who would be interested in such magic?
Not quite magic. Chemistry, young man. Chemistry.
Mr. Bismarck was a good teacher. Probably because he asked too many questions, but that's how to learn. I've even done experiments with indelible inks. Come to find out they're not so indelible. I can delete them.
Really?
Just ask the people from all around here. They came from everywhere knowing that I, Adolfo Kaminsky, could deal with the most difficult stains. Anything that they thought was beyond repair, I repaired.
I've got something extra for you. For all your hard work and love of chemistry, your very own microscope.
Mr. Brancourt! Thank you. You've been so kind. You taught me how to use all the pieces, and I know that you sold them at prices that were 1/10 of their true value.
Well, it was well worth it for me to know that they'd be in such good and competent hands.
Now all I need is a space to work. I'll be thrown out of the house if I blow up any more of my mother's pots and pans with my experiments.
Good luck, young man.
Thank you, Mr. Brancourt, for everything.
I'll tell you what, Adolfo. I'd like it if you tag along with me on some of my jobs. Would you like that?
Yes, sure.
Good. Stop by in a few days. I'll have the supplies, soaps I've been making, and salt. I'll need your help filtering the iron oxide out.
Another one of my skills.
Now, you be careful out there. I'm going to need your help. I have some very interesting work for you.
Adolfo Kaminsky.
Yes? Oh, you're the police clerk from the registrar's office.
Yes, Adolfo. I don't know why your father was so keen to register you as Jews. As Argentines, you are not required. Why would your father want you on a list for the Germans?
He's fulfilling his civic duty, sir.
All very well and good, but look, I think I've lost your father's files. Perhaps they fell into my stove.
My father will just come back and register again.
You should leave. Leave Vier. Leave Paris while you can.
It's not up to me.
Look, good luck, but I hope that I don't see you again. I mean that in a good way.
Just as I said, I think that this is the house.
Yes, it's perfect for our needs.
I want to see the living accommodations.
You see, perfect.
I agree. It's in the right location and the perfect clubhouse for our German officers.
What? My house for Germans? What do you think you are doing to my home bringing Germans under my roof? That will not happen.
You keep your hands off me, Schwein!
Ow! All of you, out of my house and don't ever come back.
You'll be hearing from us.
Leon, what were you thinking? Now what? What will happen to us? You kicked a German officer. We'll all be rounded up. Oh, Leon, your temper is going to be the death of all of us.
I'm sorry, Anna, but enough is enough. This is my house, and I worked hard for it. And they can't just come marching in here and take what is mine.
What's all the yelling?
Your uncle booted a German officer.
No! Uncle Leon, is that true?
They wanted to kick us all out to turn my house over to the Germans.
Well, I can't say I blame you, but a German officer?
I hope that we truly are registered now, and that means you too, Uncle Leon.
You better hope that this all blows over and they don't come back.
Mama?
Never mind.
Mama, I'm ready to go to the market.
All right. Please, Uncle Leon, don't make a fuss. And don't go about town right now telling everyone what you've done. I don't want any trouble. And that means you two boys.
What's happened?
Your uncle's temper. That's what.
Well, what are you staring at?
You!
Who else has the nerve to kick a German officer?
Leon!
Auguste, Alphonse, thank God it's you.
We've come to warn you.
They're coming to arrest
Tomorrow.
you. You've got to get out of here.
But where will he go?
Anywhere, as long as it's far from here.
Thank you for coming. Don't let anyone see you leaving. Go out the back the way you came in.
Good luck, friend.
Tell Anna, tell her I've had to leave. Don't any of you speak a word outside this house where I've gone. Tell Anna I will contact her.
Uncle Leon.
Don't worry. Take care of your mother and sister. Tell your father to be careful. Paul, come here. Tell your mother I will contact her. From Paris. Tell no one else.
When my mom finds out, she will go after him. She'll find him to make sure he's all right.
Dora?
Yes, what's wrong? Is it warm enough for you?
Yes, my child. Who is here?
Adolfo.
Ah, Adolfo, bringing goods, no doubt.
Yes, for you and Dora. Is there anything I can do for you?
No, I need rest, that's all. Dora worries too much. Perhaps you need to stop worrying?
We all worry. We want you to get better.
Ah, my friend, I'm old.
You're not that old. The world makes you older than your age.
War.
You need to rest.
I'll close my eyes and listen as you two visit.
Yes, close your eyes and try to sleep. So sorry, Dora. It seems that everything has turned against us. Has your mama returned? No, she hasn't. I'm very worried about her. She said she'd be coming right back, and here it is. It's been over a week now. She's made no contact? No. Well, perhaps she's on her way back now? I hope so. Thank you for bringing me soap. There's a rash epidemic going around, and the last thing I want is for my father to get that on top of his illness. I'll stop by again tomorrow. I've got more deliveries to make. Yes, of course. Thank you, Adolfo. Tell Aguirre that I'm wishing him well. I will. I should write him. Adolfo! Yes, I have some pies for you. Soap and selling candles.
Well, thank you. It's so good to see you. Would you like to share a cigarette with me?
Oh, you know I don't smoke. Where's Jean-Bert? I brought supplies for him too.
Oh, Adolfo. You haven't heard?
Heard what?
Jean-Bert.
What?
Gone and got himself executed by a firing squad.
No. That can't be.
It's true.
Jean-Bert dead? Jean-Bert? No. Because of what he said? Because he resists? Because he... Did he help someone? Did he get caught helping an enemy of the Germans?
He did all those things, Adolfo.
I've got to go. I've got to go home now, Cecile. Give Jean-Bert supplies to Jacques.
Adolfo!
Jean-Bert has been executed because he resisted. He spoke out, helped enemies of the Germans just like Maman. You tell me, parent, is Maman alive or was she killed like Jean-Bert?
She's gone, Adolfo. She's dead.
Why didn't you tell me? Why?
I'm sorry. We are all upset.
You all knew? Paul, on hell?
It was an accident. The railway company found her body on the tracks. She was returning from seeing Leon in Paris.
I went with Claire to identify her. It was a terrible accident.
How could you not tell me?
I only just found out, Adolfo. We're all upset. Don't be angry. We have enough grief over her loss.
I can't hear any more of this. No, I can't remember Mama like that. Dead and alone on the tracks.
Adolfo, you were spared. I saw her. Pauline is right. No, I can never forget it.
Like what?
Adolfo, she fell from the train. She was mangled. Her head...
Enough! She's gone. That's it.
Pauline is right, Adolfo. We can't remember Maman like that.
I don't understand. How can you fall from a train?
The detective said that she opened the door to the train while it was moving, thinking it was the toilet.
Did you believe that? Someone pushed her. If Jean-Bert could be executed for singing resistance songs and helping Jews, then what do you think would happen to anyone after he kicked a German officer? She was assassinated.
No one can prove that. The Germans don't know Mama or care about what she does.
And you believe that? If someone told you that I could use the outside door for the toilet door and I fell from a train, would you believe that?
She must have been confused.
You are thinking that, Paul, but I don't believe it. Not for 1 second.
That's enough talk about Mama.
Please, Adolfo, no more.
I'm sorry, but the Germans will kill anyone who sympathizes with Jews. Don't forget that.
Adolfo, enough! You've gotten your sister very upset.
I'm sorry, but I had to say what I feel and what I believe.
Here is a letter from the commandant. Read it. You must leave these premises at once. You are no longer allowed to live here.
And do you think that the Germans did not kill both Uncle Leon and Maman?
We know nothing. Only that this is now our house. It has been requisitioned by the Germans.
Vodka?
Yes. Where's Doniker?
He'll be here shortly. I wanted to assure you that as the director of the local police, all police know anyone not cooperating, any officers aiding or abetting Jews, national or not, will be punished severely.
We cannot lose this opportunity. Round up all the Jews, sympathizers, communists, resistance, Gaulists. Gaulists. There will be no visas for children to go to America. All of them, straight to Nazi camps once they've all been rounded up and are corralled in the velodrome. It's the only way to reestablish normal and trusting relationships with Germany and Italy. We want a German victory.
Understood. The whole of the police force is notified.
Good. We must not fail.
Gentlemen,
how can we fear a doctor?
Vodka.
Of course.
I cannot tell you how pleased we are that France is re-establishing normal relations with Germany. A wise move and a decision of your own making, as we are now forcing this roundup. It is completely your operation. Understood?
Yes, Sturmführer.
In my experience, the only way to execute your plans and rid yourselves of the Jews, your operation must be effective and executed with speed, without pointless speaking, without comment.
That is our plan. We are rounding up 22,000 Jews from both northern and southern zones of France and Jews in Greater Paris.
They allowed only a blanket, a sweater, a pair of shoes, and 2 shirts. Nothing more.
Those are the orders.
Good. A toast to a successful roundup.
Not one Jew nor one child will remain in France. We will rid France of the dregs of society here and make France pure once again.
Sabotaging the railway lines, derailing, blowing up German convoys, you have to be willing to make things a little bit more difficult than soap and candle.
I'm willing. For Mama and John.
For your Mama, you are part of the resistance. All Dachau.
Noir des corbeaux sur nos plaines. Amis, entends-tu le chant lourd du pays qu'on enchaîne? Oh, et partisans.
Dolpho, where are you? Dolpho, look at you. You're exhausted. Out all night. I'm afraid you'll get yourself killed. I won't. For the first time in a long time, since Mama and John died, 3 years on hell, I don't feel helpless. If you get caught on those railway lines, you'll be dead next. I'm very careful. I know exactly what I'm doing. What corrosives to use and when to detonate. I won't get caught.
You two, come with me!
Why? I've done nothing.
No questions. I'll unit on the transport now!
Here in this cell.
Guard! There's someone dying. We need help.
What's all the racket back here?
Can you hear? This man is suffering. He is dying.
So what am I supposed to do about that?
This man fought in the 1418 war. With you. With Germany. He almost died in that war. You can't let him die here in prison.
So all you Jews are going to die anyway.
Dear Papa, I'm here. I'm right here with you. I'll never leave your side.
Solomon, come.
What is Augie?
Promise me we'll take care of Dora, my Dora.
Yes, I promise. She will be as much as my own.
Thank you. You give me peace.
I'm going to get you help.
Too late.
Your father is freed. Dora, listen to me. Please listen. You aren't alone. You are now family. I promise to look after you. Wherever we go, you will go.
Thank you, Mr. Kaminsky. You've honored my dear, dear father.
I'm so sorry, Dora. You are now my sister.
Yes, sister.
Welcome to our family, Dora.
We're happy to have you as one of our own.
Dora, our sister.
I need to find some paper.
Paper? Why?
I'll explain when I get back. I have an idea.
Don't get stuck in another car. I want us all together.
I won't, I promise. Does anybody know where we're going? I'm Paul Kaminsky. I'm with my family.
I'm Myra. Myra Aro. I've been hearing Drancy, a prison, a camp called Drancy. You're lucky you have your family. I can't find mine. If you speak to anyone with the last name, Aro, ask if they're related to Myra, please.
Yes, of course. Do you have any paper?
Paper? No, I barely got a change of clothes.
That's alright. I'll keep looking. If I talk to anyone who might know you, I'll tell them that you were towards the front of the train.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Excuse me. Do you have any paper?
No paper.
Do you know anyone with the last name of Aaron?
No, I'm not here. And you?
Paul Kaminsky.
From? Ah, beer. Me? I'm from the southern region. I hid during the ground times. So much for that. I should have left when I had the chance. How could it be that our old people would betray us like this? We do. I'm trained to know it. Well, I hope you find your paper and whatever else you're looking for.
Yes. Do you have any paper?
I might. Here, subscribe.
Thank you. I'm Paul.
Renee.
Do you know anyone with the last name of Aaron?
No, sorry. What are they thinking of?
A woman looking for a family towards the front of the train. Said you heard. John C.
I'll get him.
Does anybody here have any paper?
Yes, I do. You in this car or another?
Up towards the front.
Did you ask anyone for paper with the last name of our own?
Yes, Amira. She was looking for a family.
Well, thank God. I'm her sister. What car?
The second.
Thank you. I'll try to find her.
Anybody else have paper?
I do.
Thank you.
Is it true we're going to Johnsey?
That's what I hear.
They tell us nothing. Are you sure we're going to Johnsey?
That's what I hear, so I can't confirm it.
I'm Anais. These are my brothers, Alon and Ezra.
Grunty, that's the suburb of Paris. Where are you from?
Here.
Did they misuse the roundup?
We weren't registered because we were Argentines.
But somehow they find the last of us Jews.
Is Johnsey a camp, a prison? No matter what you call it, it'll still be a prison.
I've got to get back to my family.
Yes, you better.
Myra? Sophia, is that you? Oh, thank God, I thought I lost you forever.
This man Paul asked.
Thank you so much. You're so kind, so very kind. God be with you and your family.
You too.
Paul, you're back.
We were worried. Why do you need paper? You told Father you had an idea. What is it?
Everybody else on this train is wearing yellow star. Except for us. There's a reason for that. We are Argentines, not French. I'm writing to the Argentine consul. We are Argentines and we are protected. If I come write all these scraps of paper and hand them out the window as we stop, anyone might be kind enough to pay for a stamp and get this to the consul.
Hand them out to the railway workers too. It only takes one kind person.
Everything looks to be in order for your release. You've been here the maximum of 3 months. You have your papers in order. You are Argentine citizens. We've had demand after demand from them that you be released. So now you are. I'm sure you didn't need me to tell you this. Why are you here?
I'm here on behalf of my daughter, Dora.
I see you, Angel, Paul, Pauline, and Adolfo listed as family members to be released. But no Dora.
I've adopted Dora.
I see no legal adoption showing she is Dora Kaminsky. Is she Argentine or French?
French.
Argentina is neutral. We have no choice but to release you. France has declared that all French Jews are to be deported.
But I wish that Dora be acknowledged as my daughter. I made a promise to her that she would come with us, be part of our family. Her father, who fought in the 1418 war, with you, with Germany, had a horrible death in a cell at La Maladreri. I can't abandon her.
If, as you say, you can't abandon her, I can make room for your whole family in the next convoy. 1,000 a day. Shall I make 1,005?
Captain Brunner!
There is a convoy leaving shortly. Are we understood here? Answer me, or all your names will be listed for the next convoy. Your choice.
We are understood.
I didn't quite hear you.
We are understood.
You may leave.
Where's Adolfo?
Whitewash the laundry floors.
Where's Paul?
I don't know. Maybe with Adolfo?
Where are they?
Is everything all right?
Everything's fine.
Are you sure?
Yes, everything's okay. Good news. We are being released.
We are?
Have any of you been able to see Dora or Pauline?
I did see Pauline yesterday. She was with Dora in the women's block, but Dora was moved to the lower floor.
Anyone on the lower floor is for deportation.
I tried. I met with Captain Brunner.
Well, what are you saying?
I did everything I could to get Dora to be released with us.
Are you saying she's being deported?
Yes.
I'm not leaving without her.
No.
I won't leave her behind.
You think I wanted this? I made a promise to her, to Aguirre. I can't bear leaving her here.
I'll stand up to Brunner. I've stared him straight in the eyes. I pull myself and stand up to him when he comes to inspect my work in the laundry room.
Are you crazy? Brunner will deport you.
So what? Isn't everyone else here being deported? Aren't they all condemned to death? Why not us?
Think about what you're saying, Adolfo. I don't want Dora to die. None of us do. But what good will it be if you're dead?
Adolfo, you are coming with us. Angel is right. You are of no use to anyone. Not Dora, and certainly the living trying to survive if you are dead.
You're needed. We need you.
I'm sorry, Adolfo.
I've got to get back to whitewashing the floors.
I thought I might find you here.
Why don't you join me in covering over the names of Jews, their messages, cries of desperation, dates, a map of inhumanity in the laundry where everything is washed.
What happened, Adolfo?
What's the point, Ernest? Telling you won't change a thing.
Tell me, and I'll tell you what I think, and a little something about me.
We're being released.
Cause for celebration, even if you are being released to a world that hates Jews.
My father couldn't save Dora.
I'm sorry. I mean that.
I want to stay, not leave her here.
She's not going to stay here. You know that.
Well, why her and not me?
We don't get to choose our existence. You didn't choose to be Argentines. It happened to you, and for good reason.
I can choose my existence. I can go on the transport with Dora.
Yes, you could choose to die with Dora. Adolfo, stop whitewashing and look at me. Fight! You've got to fight! Combat, my young man. Combat the world. You need to leave this place, especially now that France has gone to the dogs. You've got to join the resistance. Think about what you were doing out there with Brandport. You were doing what we all should, stopping the Germans any way we can. You have a gift. You have a passion that will save Jews. Think of what you've learned while being taught by that old Jew mathematician. You said that you loved understanding the relationship between math and chemistry. Think how much more you know about that theory now, and what you could turn your knowledge into outside of this hellhole.
I was his last pupil here. When it was time for our lessons yesterday, he wasn't there.
He wanted to spare you. His name was on the list, and he didn't want you to know. Is it fate that you met this man and then from here in Drancy of all places?
Maybe you're right. So, what was it you were going to tell me about yourself? Better be good.
I was arrested by mistake. The Germans mistook me for a Jew.
You don't look Jewish. As a matter of fact, you'd pass for Aryan with ease.
Just because I was circumcised. I've demanded an examination by the German Scientific Commission on racial questions. Now there's a job. They'd conclude I'm Aryan. But here's something else about me. If I were a Jew, I'd be a Zionist. I'd fight for the Maquis. Resist! Resist!
If I didn't know any better, I'd say my dear friend, Jean Bayer, come back from the dead.
There. You smiled. Adolfo, we need to invent a new world. A better world. So get out, my friend, and make that world.
Dear Mr. Brancourt, we've been released from Drancy, and I've been back in Paris for 10 days with my family. I wanted to let you know that I'm safe and alive. I was so thin from Drancy I could barely stand up on my feet. But now, I've gained weight and recovered my strength a bit. And of course, the first thing I did was head straight for a second-hand bookseller.
Dear Solomon, long gone are days with the boon. Hang on to those memories of my beloved Russia, before it all turned against us Jews. I hope this letter finds you well. I write to warn you, to help you, my friend. Here I've listed farms. Farms you can send your children to safety. When the time comes, you will need forged papers and passport-sized photos. Get Adolfo to do this. His contact is called Penguin.
The bookseller's on the embankment, near the Seine. I am back and ready to work with you in any way possible. I will see you soon. Compromising? Maybe change that.
You've got 10 minutes to pack and get ready to leave.
What's going on? Adolfo, are you all right?
Never mind your games or isn't all right. You've all got 10 minutes to pack and get out.
Get out? Where are we going?
Back to Drancy.
But we just came from there, over a week ago.
We have papers.
We're Argentines. We have documents.
I follow orders. We have an order to arrest you, and I obey orders handed down to me, and you had better obey mine.
You heard Officer Bruno. Pack and come with us.
Why y'all standing there dumbfounded? You are Jews. We are here in order to trust all Jews. Jews, you've been directed by Officer Engel and I. Now!
Officer Bruno, don't waste your breath. If you'd like, I can and will drag all of you out of here.
Get a few things, pack, and we go. And we'll sort things out once we are back at Drancy.
Nothing's straightened out. You are Jews.
Standing at the gate.
Good luck with him. Officer Kraus, I remember him only too well.
You've been sent back too?
Yes, very thorough. The Germans in all at the behest of the French. They've turned their backs on us, like the rest of the world. Are we not French citizens?
He's completely ignored that we have legal documents proving that we are Argentine citizens. I'm Solomon Kaminsky, by the way.
Marta Alper. Maybe you do have a chance. You have your family, something to fight for. I'm alone. My children, I have no idea where they are.
My father was deported to a concentration camp. What's this matter for me anyways? Go to Officer Kraus. Show him your papers. Show him he is wrong. And go, save yourselves.
All of you, come with me. Officer Kraus? Excuse me, Officer Kraus?
What do you want?
These are legal documents proving that all of us, my children and I, are Argentine citizens and are not subject to arrest, internment, or deportation.
Let me see. Give me the papers. Why are you even here then? Your papers are in order. Who sent you here?
It was a mistake, as you can see.
I have no patience for mistakes and no time to deal with them. Now go! Leave! Take your papers and your family and go wherever it is you're going.
Solomon, come here.
What is it, Marta?
I just met another Argentine. He said the diplomatic agreement is over. The German-Argentine agreement has been suspended. You better disappear from Kraus without a mistake.
Thank you, Marta. All of you, come with me. We aren't safe anymore. Each of us has got to go our separate ways.
What do you mean?
You want us all to split up?
No, I won't.
There is no other way. Your uncle and mother are dead, and I refuse to lose any of you. I will keep you safe, no matter what the cost.
What if we never find each other again?
Papa is right. We've got to do as he says.
But where will we go?
Each one of you will be placed on a farm. I received this information from my former Russian comrades who were part of the Boons with me. I know that they are right. We will need forged papers and passport-sized photos when the time comes. Those receiving these items want it to be a young person that delivers them. Adolfo, I'm counting on you. I know that you can do this. You will rendezvous soon, and your contact is called Penguin.
Adolphe? Penguin? Come with me. You've got the photos? We are going to try and keep your real initials for the papers. You were born in which year?
1925.
We'll put 26 to make you a bit younger. That way, you'll avoid the STO, where you'll end up in Germany working as military. As for your profession, we'll put student.
No, that's impossible. I had to work to earn my living.
You have a trade?
Yes, I'm a dyer.
Ah, Lucienne, you must remember her. She was a student.
Lucienne?
Yes.
Oh, yes, I do.
Just imagine I saw her again, just by chance.
By chance.
So you say you're a dyer?
Yes, that's right.
That means you can remove ink stains?
Yes, that's my specialty. I'm also able to do some chemistry.
What about indelible inks?
There's no such thing. They can all be removed.
So he was supposed to come to dinner, but then he got the flu.
What? Sorry. Oh, sorry to hear that, but better he doesn't come around and get you sick.
Quite right. Nothing worse than the flu. End of December and everybody gets sick. Nothing worse.
What about a toothache? You know, the kind that rocks your head right off?
I suppose, but you can just get the tooth yanked out. Do it yourself. The flu can kill you.
Okay, sir.
You can never be too careful. Look here. We've got a real problem with the Waterman's blue ink. Impossible to remove it. It stands up to everything. Do you know what we need to do?
No. I need to analyze it to see what it's composed of.
That I do know. It's methylene blue.
In that case, it's simple. You need to use a reducing agent, lactic acid.
You're sure of that?
Of course I'm sure. It's theory chemistry. When I was in Veer, I devoured chemistry books. Learned how to get rid of stains, any stain, impossible stains. I made soaps, candles.
Would you be interested in working for us?
Yes, absolutely.
I'll be in touch with you very soon. Your papers need names and destinations of your other family members, which will be arranged within 24 hours. Come with me. I want you to meet some of my colleagues to put you to the test. If you're in, you'll be working in the 6th laboratory.
Please, Adolfo, sit at the desk.
We need you to transfer this information onto this blank identity card. Carefully copy all the details.
Well, Julian Adolphi Heller, you're a forger for the 6th laboratory. We've got a job for you. We need to get 500 fake IDs to Jews by the new year, and you, Julian, will deliver them.
So we made in 3 days?
3 days. Yesterday, Radio London gave us some good news. The German army is retreating on all fronts. From now on, we have all the armies of North America on our side.
The problem is that the Nazis have decided to speed up the process of clearing out the Jews. They're relentless in this task and will stop at nothing, so we must stay ahead of them, always ahead. Where are they about to strike? Who, when, what, where, and we make sure that every single Jew is informed.
The Germans are preparing a roundup of the whole of the territory. They are raiding 10 children's homes across Paris.
We made a list for you. First, you will warn 50 Jews at the roundups and deliver the IDs that Waterlily, Otter, Hera, and Susie are now creating. Then, the big job. You'll be making ration cards, birth certificates, baptismal certificates for all the children, plus adults taking them across the border. Their order and pass for the whole group.
Wait, how many children?
300.
That means more than 900 different documents to make in 3 days. It's impossible.
You'll get bundles of requests to 30 to 50 a day.
Once they are completed, you will deliver them.
You must go to the lab and get to work with the others. The 6th are your comrades. Make sure you are smart in your comings and goings to and from the 6th. Look around you. Listen. Trust no one. Make sure you are not being followed. If you are, do not go directly to the lab. Wait until all is clear. Here's the address. Top floor in Attica. Good luck.
This is one of the cards that you will be delivering for the roundup of the 50 Jews. You will warn them of the impending roundup and give them their cut. I've removed the Jew stamp with absorbent cotton, soaked in correction fluid with some bleach that was boiled.
Then I recolored the card with crayons.
What? Waterlily, Susie, no. This method you use is far too risky. Otter, come here. Let me show you all.
Well, what other way would be a better method?
I'm going to show you, Otter. Look. This card, on contact with skin and sweat, the writing will reappear in yellow in just a few days, and it'll be clear that it's a forgery.
So how do we keep the forgery fixed? They've been doing it all wrong. We've got to get it right. Hundreds of documents are people's lives, and we've got to get it right.
You will, Herta, you will. If you don't neutralize the correction fluid with an alkaline substance, the writing will be unreadable and no use at all within a few days. Watch what I do.
How do you know all of this?
You've been forging all your life?
In a way, I guess I have. Everything I've done has led me up to this moment now. I was a dyer. I know how to dye cotton thread without affecting the woolen thread. I experimented, blew things up, failed, then learned, studied, and got it right. I've been doing experiments in chemistry since I was 14. I can erase so-called indelible inks. You can delete them all if you do it in the right way.
It's magic. It is magic. Look, Water Lily, how perfect the idea is.
Let's get to work. I'm devoting myself to the convoys of children. I'm going to start cutting paper.
I'll be coloring documents the correct way. Heard up. You and I will start filling out documents. Adolfo, tonight while we continue with the children's documents, you will warn the 50 Jews on this list and give them their documents.
Identity check! Have all bags ready to be searched.
Keep calm, keep calm. Everything's fine.
Identity card, please. Julian Keller, 17, dyer by trade. We're in Einkreuz district. Papers in order. Keller, is that all station?
Yes.
And what have you got in your briefcase? Are you deaf? What have you got in there?
Sandwiches, mess sandwiches. Do you want to see them?
Yes. Okay, you can go.
What if they had further searched my briefcase? Found all the forgeries. All those innocent Jews dead. All the children, and it'd be all my fault. Maybe I'm not cut out for this job. I'm too much of a coward. Too afraid. I keep myself away with my fear and inability to stay calm. Surrounded by the dead, old and new. More to come. Thousands. My mother, Jean-Bert, and Dora among them. So many Jews. A never-ending convoy after convoy of Jews going to their deaths. And no one stops them. Remember, Adolfo, for whom you're doing this and why. Deliveries must be made. Lives must be saved. First on the list, Madam Jara. I've got ID paper and certificates for you, so that you may leave safely before the roundups.
Why should I hide? I, who've done nothing, who've been French for several generations.
Madam, you have children.
Yes, 4. We are French. We've done nothing wrong and have nothing to fear.
My network makes it our business to hide children. They would be in an absolutely secure place with decent people out in the country. We would get you news of them wherever you are. Please, take these papers.
I don't need your papers. They would probably get me arrested.
No. We've saved many, many lives, and we'll save more, like you and your children. I've seen the deportations, the roundups, and I know where all the Jews are being sent, to their deaths. Do you understand? The Germans and French are ridding themselves of the Jews.
The death camps don't exist. I don't believe those lies. It's all Anglo-American propaganda. Look, you don't leave at once, I'll call the police.
I'm leaving. No need to call anyone. I have many other Jews to reach. Good night. God help you, Madam Trotta, and your children. The police will be on your doorstep before sunup. Oh, exhaustion. You are my worst enemy. And you mustn't tremble. Don't betray me now. 812. 88 more to go. Adolfo, not a mistake. Above all, not a technical mistake. A slip, an infinitesimal detail missed. A momentary lapse of concentration. It's the life and death of a human being. Life and death. Life. Death.
How many do you have left?
I don't know. We need to know. We've got 250 people to die. Dear God, Adolfo, Adolfo! Otto, something is wrong. Adolfo, wake up! I'll get a glass of water.
I'll get the damn washcloth.
Adolfo, please, wake up.
What happened?
Were you here all night? Is that what you did? You worked all night?
Here, Aubrey, put this on his forehead.
Are you crazy, Adolfo? You'll kill yourself. Let's get him to one of our other liaisons to look after him. Adolfo, we'll take care of you.
You cannot let me sleep for more than 1 hour. We've got to get on 900 documents done. We've only 812.
We'll get the documents done, and we will save all the children. Please, Adolfo, rest.
We need a forger, Adolfo, not another corpse.
For all 900 documents to be completed on time, within days, and delivered before the new year. Otter speaks very highly of you.
My colleagues all work very hard on the deadline.
You're modest. It's your skills that impress me.
Look, all I do is apply the things that I've learned in chemistry and dye.
Let me ask you, do you know of an ink they can use for correspondence?
Yes, of course.
What's your name?
Julian.
Yes, it's your surname. What's that?
Keller.
Adolfo? Adolfo Kaminsky from Drancy?
Ernest Appenzeller?
Well, I never! So the specialist is you!
How could I not recognize you right away? Look at you, from rags to a new suit. Well, I never.
You and your family were the only ones that got out of Drancy. The only thing that got me out eventually is my boyish Aryan good looks.
What are the chances you two would ever meet up again? I can't believe what I'm hearing.
Believe it, Cashel. So, Adolfo, you're in the 6th?
Yes, and you, are you in the MLN?
No, I'm with the NJS, attached to the OJC, the Jewish Convert Organization.
You know, that was always your favorite word, combat. You always said, if I were a Jew, I'd be a Zionist. I'd go fight for the Maquis.
No Jew should accept wearing the star. Registering, following the orders of the German, the French, there's civic obedience that would guarantee their survival.
Ernest, we registered. We escaped wearing the star because we were Argentines. But you're not Jewish, so you don't know. You couldn't possibly understand.
Ha! I really fooled you in Drancy, hey? And those morons running on a scientific commission? I am a Jew. And the fake documents that were presented to those morons? Here, have a look.
This is not possible. I made these documents, not knowing. I didn't know they were for you.
I am a Jew.
I'm the son of an Austrian rabbi. I'll fight to the end. Adolfo, it's so good to see you, my friend.
Quite a reunion. I'm glad you two have found each other, but now down to business. Adolfo, do you know how to reproduce imprinted watermarks, relief stamps, remove ink on documents without affecting the color of the paper as seen out of age, make new paper out of old?
My answer is yes. To all of your questions, I do it all.
Good. We have a problem with one of our photo engravers in Paris. Until recently, he did work without delay, then slowed down, and now he's told us he's stopping his production because he's afraid his staff might be watching him. It's a hard blow for the resistance. But you who know how to do everything, do you know how to set up a photo engraving studio?
Yes, on one condition. That I have one training with the photo engraver in question.
Here's your order for deglobalization card. Here's the address of Mr. Gumar's photo engraving studio on Rue Saint Denis. Go there at once. Do not tell him you're with the Six. Do not tell him you're with the MLN.
It's done.
I hope that you're as good as you said.
Of course he is. His documents prove I'm not a Jew. I'll see you soon, my friend.
Come in, quickly. Take off your coat. Anyone follow you?
No, I'm very careful.
You can never be too careful. No one is to be trusted. I'm sure you knew that. All right then, down to business. Seems you want to be a photo engraver.
Yes.
Well, you don't get to be one just like that. First, you study for 3 years at the École Estion, then another 3 as apprentice. You don't know anything about photo engraving until you've been doing it for 10 years. So, if you've 16 years to spare, which would surprise me, you could perhaps become a photo engraver. And I say perhaps.
I don't want to be a professional photo engraver. I just want to, well, you know, learn a few little things. Like make rubber stamps, for example.
I've told Cachot I don't want to help anyone. It's too dangerous. Here, the workers are watching. There are traitors everywhere. What network are you with, Keller?
MLN.
I was with the OCM, but since they've gone to the socialists, I've joined the MLN. The socialists, huh? Why not work with the Jews while we're at it? Who do I hate more? The Krauts. Now it's over with. I don't help anyone anymore!
In that case, I'm sorry I've been wasting your time, Mr. Gumar. I'll leave now.
And if I agree to help you, it's only because I've been told you were the one who found out how to deal with Waterman ink. Just fancy. Quite a few of us are racking our brains to find the formula for removing it. You're a good one. You aren't, Keller, and we're not going to let those bastards turn our country to a German province.
I have no choice but to learn from you. So let's get to work.
Well, what is it? Come this way. The Jewish Legion is about to come into being. Just imagine, Adolfo, all the Jewish resistance movements fighting under the same flag. You, EIF, the 6th section, us, together. We'll pull more weight.
But we're together already. We all work together.
Yes, but this time we're amalgamating. Show that the Jewish resistance is united. In the Maquis, there are men who are only waiting for the signal to regroup under the orders of the Jewish Legion. It will tell the world that Jews know how to defend themselves, to fight, to win. I've been in contact with a London agent. Thanks to him, we've already received some weapons, and more due to arrive. He wants me to drop a list to the extent of our network, the number of combatants. We have to show that there are lots of us, and we have a solid structure. I need from you the address of the lab and the names of those working there.
Have you gone completely mad? I'm not giving the names and the address of the lab, nor the names of anyone at all.
You have no confidence in us? Is that it?
Confidence in you, yes. As long as you're not making lists. Who's this man who's providing weapons for you? What tells you it isn't a trap?
Adolfo, there's no trap. Everything's safe. It's London that sent him. Look, We've gone through him before, and there's never been a problem. What's he called? Charles Perel. Make your own investigations if you'd like, but do you really think Cachot would trust just anyone?
Cachot trusts him?
That's what I'm saying. So?
Don't count on me.
You're a coward. You're afraid of fighting.
Nothing, not one name, not one address for me, nothing.
What's wrong? Did something happen?
I had it out with Ernest.
Over what?
A contact he says is safe in London through Cachot, who wants all names, contacts, addresses to units all Jews in the Jewish Legion.
Names? Addresses? You gave him nothing, I hope.
No, nothing at all.
Good. Have you got the documents for the 2 groups of children that Penguin is rescuing? He only has a week to get them out.
Yes, I'm meeting him later.
Be careful.
Always.
Ernest too. Brunner will send them to Auschwitz. All of them, including the children. They're on a convoy now.
This can't be happening. Not now. Not after Perel betrayed Cachot and got beaten to death by the Gestapo. Everyone in charge of the MJS and some of the EJ, including some of the Dutch network. The FBT and MLR were all arrested a little more than a week ago. We're down to nothing. Only the 6th. I told Ernest. I warned him.
Look, Adolfo. You saved the 6th. You did everything you could. How are they sent to Drancy?
The Allied armies are advancing. Brunner does not have much longer and would never want to leave the execution of his prisoners to the prison. He wanted to see it done himself.
You're right. I've looked that man in the eyes, and he's a cold-blooded murderer. Brunner would never go back to Germany in defeat. No. He wanted the most active resistance members, and he got them. Just not us.
A moment of silence for our comrades.
Thank you, Penguin, for all that you have done to save so many.
Paris is liberated. We are free. Why should we hide the emotion that seizes us all, men and women who are here at home in Paris, that stood up to liberate itself and succeeded in doing this with its own hands? No, we will not hide this deep and sacred emotion. These are minutes which go beyond each of our poor lives. Paris, Paris outraged, Paris broken, Paris martyred. Paris is liberated. Liberated by itself, liberated by its people with the help of the French armies, with the support and the help of all France, of the France that fights, of the only France, of the real France, of the eternal France. Since the enemy which held Paris has capitulated into our hands, France returns to Paris, to her home. She returns bloody, but quite resolute. She returns enlightened by the immense lesson, but more certain than ever, of her duties and of her rights. This duty of war, all of the men who are here, and all those who hear us in France, know that it demands unity. We, who have lived the greatest hours of our history, we have nothing else to wish than to show ourselves, up to the end, worthy of France. Vive la France!
Everyone, it's so good to see you all. Susie, Herta, Otter, our dear Adolfo, Helen, Giraffe. Let's raise our glasses to the liberation of Paris and France and the end of the war.
To Benjamin, Ernest, and all who fought with us.
Adolfo, you'll never guess what I'm studying now.
Let me think a moment.
Oh, you already guessed. Chemistry.
Paris is liberated! What? Ernest! What am I seeing? It can't be! It is, my friend, it is. Me, Ernest, in the flesh.
But how?
I'm a fighter, to the end. Combat ready, always. Not even Brunner was gonna stop me.
But how? How could you escape the convoy? I don't understand.
How is it that you are here?
I saw through the bars over the window on the railway car. And by night, a few of us escaped out the open window. Ernest, Adolfo, not a word, only celebration. You and I, we're gonna have a few missions to carry out. The struggle never ends. Viva la France!
Viva la France!
In 2009, Sarah Kaminsky, Adolfo's youngest child, approached her father and asked him if he'd agree to be interviewed and have his story turned into a book. Adolfo had barely revealed any of the dangerous and heroic exploits he was involved with, but as she grew into adulthood, the curious daughter met many people who told Sarah they owed their very lives to her father. Sarah had feared her aged father would leave this world without his story seeing the light of day, that all his heroic activities and those of his friends would go unnoticed. Adolfo gave his consent to the publication of this story. Sarah and Adolfo conducted multiple hours of interviews at his home in Paris. The book was released in French in 2009. Neither father nor daughter expected the book would receive a wide reception, but they were greatly mistaken. Adolfo Kaminsky, A Forger's Life, flew off the shelves of Parisian and other French bookstores, has since been translated into several languages, including Portuguese, Hebrew, and Arabic, as well as English. The English edition came out only a few years ago in 2015.
For decades, Adolfo feared that the word of his illegal activities would land him in jail or in front of a firing squad. He would meet quietly with friends and partners in resistance. They'd recount their daring exploits and desperate acts of courage. By the time of liberation, Adolfo had succeeded amazingly in saving approximately 14,000 French Jews from deportation and certain death through his forged documents. His most unlikely identity, a 17-year-old youth, helped make him as visible as a master forger being sought after by French and German police and agents. When the war in France ended, some of France's most gifted young Jewish resistors were gone. They had been caught and deported or otherwise killed in resistance effort. Cashoud and Penguin paid with their very lives for the enormous courage and muscle they flexed to stop more Jews from deportation and death.
No sooner had the Nazis fled France, the new French military sought out Adolfo to aid in discovering still unliberated concentration camps. His trip to one of the Jewish DP camps soon thereafter opened his eyes to the suffering Jews were still undergoing even after the Holocaust was over. Adolfo had not been a Zionist, but the sight of wild, wandering bands of teenage Jewish survivors who had given up any hope in mankind due to their unspeakable suffering convinced him he needed to help Jews achieve a state that could finally be their own. That Jews had the right to determine their own future. He aided the Jewish underground, the Haganah. Ironically and indirectly, he also helped its opposition, the Stern Gang. Adolfo's close friends, Ernest, Waterlily, Pierrot, and Otter, left immediately after the State of Israel was founded in 1948. They chose to live in the first Jewish state in nearly 2,000 years, in the ancient land of the Bible. Adolfo chose not to join them. His valiant struggle was a secular one. He was less attached to his national Jewish identity, more to humanity and the plight of overall human suffering.
In
coming decades, Adolfo took to helping other peoples who struggled against powerful dictatorships or military regimes. He worked on behalf of the Algerians as they struggled for liberty and out of French control. He later chose to live in Algeria. He married there and settled down until his identity as a Jew made him a wanted man and his family as well. He also worked on behalf of struggling South American nationals who also desired to create a new world free of dictatorships. In the early 1970s, Adolfo wound down his work as a forger. By the early 1980s, he returned once again to live with his family in Paris. He returned to his early passion of photography, taking many images of Parisian life, especially scenes that depict the city in lonely and dark corners. He began speaking before student audiences in the early 2000s and was surprised that so many young people showed any interest in an old man's life story. His daughter helped him understand that he looms large as a hero to today's youth, in part because he was just a bit older than the young men and women who sit before him and show him great respect. Adolfo is now 94 years old. He has slowed down his travel significantly over just the past few years. We are therefore unable to welcome him to join us, but his story remains, and a short video about Adolfo can be found online under the New York Times, A Forger's Life. May the memories of all those French Jews Adolfo and his brave friends strove in vain to save always be remembered, together with the 6 million Kedoshim. May the many whose lives he did help save provide inspiration to us all about the enormous potential and good that even one human being is able to make in this world.
To my dear students, you brought great dignity to a complicated story, and you told it with pride and carefulness and poise and talent. I ask everyone here in attendance to please join me as we salute and say thank you, Yavneh Academy's Class 2019.
From early on in our education, Yavneh Academy students are taught the importance of our history. As younger students, we remember looking forward to being in the Holocaust play. We had heard about the script writing, the artwork, managing the stage, and performing for our classmates, students from other schools, teachers, and family and friends. We truly did not understand this experience until we lived the process. As with any great accomplishment, the production you have just seen would not have been possible without the help and support of numerous people to whom many thanks are due. On behalf of the Yavneh Academy Class of 2019, Rose and I are honored to share the thoughts of your class, the graduating class of 2019.
First, we would like to express our appreciation to our principal, Rabbi Jonathan Knapp. Without your backing of the play, this beautiful tradition would have first faltered and perhaps forgotten. To allow that to happen would have been a great misfortune to you, our audience, to us, the graduating class of Yavneh Academy, and to the memory of the 6 million Kedoshim who died in the Holocaust. As our principal, you've kept open this tradition for us and for the victims of the Holocaust as a whole. The play is not only a memorial and a commemoration, but also a senior project for us, one which brings us to finish our time at Yavneh with good memories. We are the only organization which holds this tradition. It is something which we love and are proud of. Rabbi Knapp, you have the heartfelt gratitude of this 8th grade and of many before us who have performed this play in the remembrance of the Holocaust.
Mrs. Rubin, it's hard to know where to begin in thanking you for all you have brought to our experience in Yavneh, generally and this year's play specifically. As our principal in general studies, you take seriously all of our subjects and projects. But you also come to each and every one of our sports competitions. You help lead our advisory sessions, guiding us as budding young adults. In each of these and more, you bring a firm commitment to our success as students and as human beings. Your passion for Holocaust education and strong dedication to this production is keenly felt and leaves a lasting impression on each and every one of us. You call our attention to the larger picture, such as the Kedoshim who we commemorate tonight, rather than your own personal role in something this important. This helps to make the success of this sacred project possible, teaches us the value of sincerity. Your extraordinary wisdom, your deep understanding of life and each of us, makes the success we enjoy in Yavneh Middle School possible. For this and more, we thank you.
Thank you to all of you. You have made tonight extraordinary, and it's my joy to be part of your lives. Thank you.
There is a great deal which takes place behind the scenes. We would like to thank Mr. Joel Kirshner for the relationship he has nurtured with the city of Paramus, enabling us to have our performance here. We appreciate the many hours of coordinating with all the officials and, of course, arranging to have our scenery and props brought here and prepared for us. Thank you to Lenny and Wilson for always saying yes to any of our needs.
We express our thanks to Mrs. Kazam. Your ability to take an idea and create a world is inspiring. Learning how to blend colors, teaching us how to impact with a portion and features is an aspiring artist's dream come true. Thank you for your patience and daily guidance, and we know allowing 8th graders free rein of paint and brushes might be quite the challenge. Thank you for sharing your talent with us.
Yashar Koach to our makeup coordinators, Miss Candace Filer and Miss Valerie Levin. We don't know how you and your committee made it happen, yet over 100 8th graders were made up, boys and girls. With gentle reminders that the makeup was needed to work with the lighting, you authenticated our appearances to memorialize the individuals whom we were represented in our play.
The many props that we used during our performances were coordinated by Mr. Allen and Mrs. Rena Schwartz. Rabbi Burstein called you, and you were ready with documents, chairs, bottles, and so much more. You ensured that our play would have the authenticity required.
Miss Lori Garfunkel. Miss Garfunkel, your children have long graduated, yet your commitment to Yavneh Academy shines through. You spent many hours with us, perfecting our diction, pronunciation, and projection. We thank you for your support, patience, and guidance. Please join us on the stage.
Mrs. Gail Plotnick, the costume that we stand before you are a result of weeks of fitting, cutting, sewing, and ironing on the part of our costume director, Mrs. Gail Plotnick. She, in the space of a few short months, undertook and achieved the mammoth task of fitting 90 8th graders for at least one costume. This is an unbelievable accomplishment. Not only that, you gave us a clear understanding of each of our characters. Although you remain relatively unseen, you are vital to this production. In addition to our costuming, you spent countless hours to perfect our hairstyles. Not an easy task with so many graduating girls. Mrs. Plotnick, please join us. Throughout our years at Yavneh, we had heard all about the Holocaust play. We walked through the cafeteria and experienced rehearsals and heard announcements about practice. It is only now that we understand what it means to be an 8th grader who is privileged to be in the Holocaust production. Tonight's performance is much more than sharing a stage together to commemorate the Shoah. Rather, it is the passion, talent, and work and devotion of Miss Dominique Ciari which you have experienced. Dominique, you've given us so much of yourself that we will take with us. Our writers were trained to make language come to life. Our artists given an opportunity to create the world of Adolfo Kaminsky and the many Jews he helped survive, and our stagehands accepting responsibility for the flow of the play. Our performers taught how to give voice to those who will not speak again. You've invested your passion for keeping the Holocaust alive into each of us. From all of us, thank you for being part of our world. Your teaching will stay with us in the years to come as we continue to give voice to many who cannot. We hope we have made you proud. Thank you for being an integral part of Yavneh Academy's 8th grade experience. Dominique, please join us, your graduating class of 2019.
Beautiful, beautiful performance. So thank you so much. It was fabulous for me to work
Rabbi Burstein, the amount of work and effort you have invested into this play, training actors, fact-checking, editing, organizing, is unbelievable. You found the story, chose the playwrights, helped with research and writing, chose the roles, organized rehearsals, coached voices, the list goes on and on. You turned us from an ordinary 8th grade into a group of skilled actors, writers, painters, and singers, and you do it every year. More important is the love and devotion you have invested in us. We walk into your classroom and know that each of us is seen as a treasure, a young Jewish student who has the power to learn and make a difference in the world. Rabbi Cook said, "I don't speak because I have the power to speak. I speak because I don't have the power to remain silent." Your passion to ensure that the truths of the Holocaust remain alive has now become one of our life's missions. We've experienced a year when many acts of anti-Semitism have occurred. We have heard of the desecration of Jewish sites and hate rallies in Europe. We are all too aware of the October attack on the Tree of Life Synagogue in Pittsburgh's Squirrel Hill section and the recent Pesach shooting at Chabad Shul in Poway, California. Tonight does commemorate and honor the Kedoshim of the Shoah and the many, including Adolfo Kamenetsky, who chose not to remain silent. Rather, their actions spoke volumes. Rabbi Burstein, you are the voice for us. You take us through a world of what Jewish history, with its many challenges and successes, and share what it is to be a true Jewish man or woman. You welcome our questions, share halakhic responses to our concerns, and ensure that we each feel special in your presence. Each lesson is directed with meaning and life lessons. We will graduate with your teachings close to hearts and souls. We will continue to speak for those who have perished and plan to be the voices of the future, voices which will be heard clearly to protect Judaism throughout the world.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me again as we applaud the Yavneh Academy graduating class 2019.